Forza Horizon 5. It seems to be the thing that everybody is talking about right now, and in this video I want to basically cover everything that we think we know so far, as well as my predictions, as well as just what I'd want to see in this upcoming game. Now, of course, everything that has been speculated on so far cannot be 100% confirmed, but it might as well be 80% confirmed. A lot of people are saying that these sources where people are finding out info such as the map and the release date are very credible, and to that I kind of agree that in the past stuff like the Lego expansion and other various things have been leaked out there and they have been in fact true. So with that said, it is looking that most likely this is going to be the true case for what is going to happen for this future Horizon game. And with that, I want to start with the release date. Now, sources have been saying that this game is going to be unveiled at this upcoming E3. And if that's the case, then it should probably come out in fall/autumn of 2021 this year. That fits the perfect schedule for Forza to release this sort of game, whereas if they wait a whole nother year cycle, then that's really going to set them back on putting out the game on as many of the consoles as they can. And what I mean by that is that it is expected that this next game is going to be released on all the way back down to the base Xbox One console, then you have the One S, the One X, and then you have the Series X, and of course PC. I don't think that this game is going to be that crazy next level different than the last Horizon 4 was, just because you have to be able to suit the standards of the Xbox One base. I mean, like, come on, like, you're holding us back, Xbox One. Why you gotta be like this? But of course, Forza is gonna want to release onto as many console platforms as they can to, you know, maximize the profits out of it. So having a game that is limited to the Xbox One means that I feel like this next game can only be so different than the last one is. Which now, this is going to lead us into the topic of the map. So the main map that has been speculated on is Mexico. The location name that I've just been seeing everywhere recently that people have put out: Mexico this, Mexico that. And of course, a lot of people expected by the time that we got this Forza that we would have a Forza that takes place in Japan. That's just been one of the most requested locations by the fans, including me. I made a fan-made trailer for Forza Horizon 4 taking place in Japan before that came out, and that's what really made me see the potential in that as a location. And Forza is probably well aware of this, and they probably want to listen to their audience, even though some argue that they sometimes don't. My prediction is that they are waiting for the Horizon game, honestly, after 5 or whatever this next one is, to probably put all their efforts and have unlimited access to making a really good Japanese map there. Meaning that by the time we have a Horizon that's after Horizon 5, we will probably be beyond being limited to just the Xbox One, and they will probably have full capabilities to put out a game mainly for Xbox Series X or PC or whatever new gen consoles we have by then. I just think they're saving Japan for when they have even more unlimited capabilities on the platform that they have to create the game on, because I think they want to make it perfect, they want to make it big, they want to make it huge. That's just my thoughts. I could be wrong. They could also be planning Dubai after this, or I mean, who knows? Who knows? But with that all said, the location in question that we currently have for Horizon 5 is indeed Mexico. And what are my thoughts on it? I think Mexico is actually an amazing place that somehow none of us ever considered, but then now that we all started thinking about it, we're like, well, hey, this actually might work. The biggest thing that a Forza Horizon map needs is diversity, and I think Mexico has a lot of that. When you say Mexico, you immediately just think of desert, but there's actually a lot more than just sand out there. There's incredible tropical beaches. There are actually massive rainforests, jungles, and a lot of canyons and mountainous roads that could also be implemented, as well as various cities. There's Mexico City. There's a bunch of other big towns and cities that Forza can put in. And Mexico just has a really vibrant, cool culture to it, especially with their cars. And they also have massive music festivals and other things which fit the Horizon Festival vibe that I'm sure they're always trying to create when they go into these Horizon Festival games. A lot of people will say that Forza Horizon 3 was one of the better maps that they made. I mean, it was the game that completely took off my channel, and I think that was an amazing map. Mexico seems to be a lot like on the levels of Horizon 3 as far as the landscape and scenery that you could expect, and I honestly don't have a problem with that whatsoever. Now, one piece of recently rumored evidence that's been kind of catching traction out there, one of the Xbox Series X premiere videos, which actually came out way back in winter of 2019, seemed to kind of tease something that can actually support the lines of Mexico. Let me just play a snippet right here for you guys.
Let's have a dream which isn't under control. And then you would get more and more adventurous.
Now that you have Mexico in your mind, doesn't that clip kind of support what we've been all saying? I think yes, but I also think that that could just be a test clip just to show the capabilities of what the Series X is going to put out, and that might in fact have nothing to do with what they're creating. But even if so, some people have been saying that even some of the flowers and vegetation, such as the Mexican passiflora and other specific plants and stuff that have been found in regions of Mexico have been found in that video you can see. And that video might as well been something that Microsoft was teasing over our heads this entire time that could also lead to Mexico. And of course you have the Koenigsegg Regera, however you want to say it, that is drifting through the off-road terrain right in there, which may very well be the cover car. But this clip is seen in a trailer that is showcasing the highlights of what Xbox games has had to offer, including likes of Halo and some of the other big ones, and I think that clip very well represents Forza. So I think there is a high chance that whatever we saw there might have teased what we could expect from Forza in Xbox Series X, and it likes to showcase a lot of the detail in all of the little rocks and plants and all of this stuff, and I think that's one thing that this future Forza game or future Forza games from the Xbox Series X and onward is going to focus on, is I think they're going to go definitely into great detail on capturing everything realistically, because Xbox has now partnered with Playground, and Xbox is, you gotta think of this beyond just Forza. I think Xbox will definitely always want to use Forza as an example of what their consoles and engines are capable of doing, and one of the best ways to do that is just make Forza look as realistic and push the limits on the graphics and everything that that console can put in. And I think they're going to try and use that with whatever next Horizons we're going to have here. So if there's anything you could definitely predict out of these future Forza games, is that they're going to get even more detailed and look even better with these more capable consoles. Now, what are some of the things that I want to see implemented into the next Horizon game? Well, of course, I'm going to start out with customization. That's always been my thing. I've even presented it to actual Forza devs that work at the game. I mean, word for word, I've literally said that the only reason why I play the current Need for Speed game is because of what you can do in the garage and all the customizing there. If you can get the customization on the level of Need for Speed, it would completely annihilate the entire point of even getting Need for Speed. At least for me it would, because you would just have everything all in Forza. And to me, I spend a lot of time creating different cars and customizing them, and different, more aggressive wheels are needed, more body kits for even the same car. And I'm not just saying like more body kits in general, I'm saying like the BRZ has like a million different body kits now currently that exist for it, and we need more than just the Rocket Bunny V2. We need Aim Game, we need Liberty Walk, we need all these different companies all just for one car. We need little simple things like being able to put stickers on windows, because they literally have cars like Hertz FC RX-7 that has stickers on windows that Forza implemented, but why can't we add stickers ourselves onto Windows? Customization is something that maybe I won't be able to make that much more content on if it's added, but it'll definitely keep me myself on the game a lot more. A much larger different thing that should be changed in this next Forza game is just the whole online layout. I think the whole online layout of Horizon 4 was, I mean, it was advertised really incredibly that, oh, we're going to have like 72 player lobbies, except for the fact that we're not going to be able to see every car at once and this and that. But, you know, now that we've been able to play it out, I feel like it's just been a little bit awkward. Like, there's been so many moments of us players timing out of sessions or just not really knowing what session we're in, and then it's just, I don't know, I feel like it's made the online experience a little more actually disconnected than connected as before. I'd actually be fine if Forza just had like a very simple online lobby situation back like Horizon 1, where it's just like there's actual like online menus that you load in with people, and like you could do online infection lobbies and like all specific stuff like that. And last but not least, we just need a complete reorganization on just how the whole progression and unlocking cars and all this stuff works, because the way that Horizon progression has worked, at least in Horizon 4, seems to be really kind of all over the place, in that once you reach a certain point, the game is just giving you all these cars left and right, and you're kind of becoming a millionaire. But then at the same time, you also don't have the capabilities of getting certain cars that you want, because they started doing this thing where you have to start doing all these challenges to unlock the new cars as they get added into the game. But then that also creates this whole problem on that some of these cars get super rare, and if you don't want to work for it, then it's literally almost impossible to get it, even if you have the money for it, because there's the whole auction house issue where there's cars that are just so rare and they get sniped off the auction house, and there's just cars that end up just being completely inaccessible in the game whatsoever. Somewhere in there, there's a line between the progression in that you keep people on the game and you keep them playing and you keep them entertained, but you also have to make it easy enough that there are guys, there are older people that have jobs and other things that just want to hop on this game to be able to just kind of make a car if they wanted to make a car, or drive a car if they wanted to drive a car, and let's say like they wanted to randomly recreate their own. They should have an easy way of being able to do that without having to spend hours and hours and hours just trying to unlock one car or whatever. That's really hard. I'm not a game developer, so I completely understand that that's not something that's easy that could just simply be figured out. But I will say that that was done very well back in the games of Horizon 1, and even sometimes Need for Speed. I feel like I have a little more motivation to want to progress through, but I can still have access to the cars that I want to drive in that game. So I don't know, they can maybe look at those games and see exactly what they did. But that just kind of concludes my Forza Horizon 5 discussion. I've gone over everything that I've wanted to go over, and if there's any more updated news, just remember, subscribe to this gaming channel, because I will definitely be uploading whatever the next Forza stuff is all on this gaming channel, and we gotta build it up some more. So subscribe to JackUltraGamer if you haven't yet, and tell your friends about it. A lot of people don't know still that this channel exists. Tell your buddies if you haven't yet. With that said, thank you guys for listening and watching. This is going to be JackUltraGamer signing this video off.